Hello, it's time for the Under the Cowl of MS podcast of the week, Thursday podcast, where we talk about whatever the hell I feel like talking about today. I'm actually cold. I'm almost wanting to throw some pants on instead of shorts. Ran around today, and for the past 2 weeks, it's been hot, humid, nasty in the Midwest. Last night we had, at least two pretty decent sized tornadoes on video touching down about a half hour from us. Thankfully, they went back up in the clouds and went away. Uh, but today and the next few days, it's going to be in the 70s. So it's actually a little chilly after dealing with 90s and humidity for a while. But it is nice. I'm not complaining. I can get stuff done outside without suffering. Suffering succotash. Uh, I went to the Superman movie a couple days ago on Tuesday, $5 Tuesday. Figured it would be packed. There was only about 25 other people in the theater. Say about a fourth of them were kids, but they're all well behaved. Some of them were moving around and stuff, but they were making annoying noises and comments and stuff like that you get sometimes from the kids in the theaters. But yeah, I if you don't want to hear spoilers, don't listen because I'll probably mention some stuff. I enjoyed the movie. I'm very happy I went to see it in theaters. You get quite a few characters in it. There were a couple character surprises, but yet not because I heard people talking about it on and off for the last week. Uh, it does a nice, I don't know if you really consider it nice, but interesting Supergirl, uh, a little prelude into what's going to come with Supergirl next year. The way it sounds, Krypton is going to be with Supergirl in the Supergirl movie of 2026. So that will be interesting. Crypto was a blast. He thankfully had a lot more uh, screen time than I expected. I like how the previews that you've seen with Crypto coming to rescue Superman when he's laying out in the snow and takes him to the Fortress of Solitude. That commercial, that advertisement that everybody talked about. We got a short one, then a little bit of an extended one and stuff. Uh, from what I seen in all the previews and stuff, I didn't see anything that really gave anything major away from the movie because the main advertisement they focused on was basically the first 5 minutes of the movie. So that was nice because I'm not big on watching previews and then seeing the best parts of the movie and then watch the movie and that's what you're getting. Uh, so they did a good job of not ruining stuff by doing it that way. Clark and Superman, the character that played him, I was happy with it with them. Uh, Lois is a little pushy, as you would expect from a reporter. I like who they used for Pine, Ma Kent. They give you that feeling of normal farming friendly type of family. Uh, they have a couple little choke up style moments. It's like I didn't they didn't have much left for product endorsements and stuff, products to purchase at the theater, other than cups, like a green cup with a little bottom part and a base that had a little like a Funko uh, crypto in it. And they had a couple another cup, and then a little display rack of some. I don't know if it was like packaged figures and then school supplies type things that you get with Superman on it. They did have the Fantastic Four preview with Galactus head that I think is going for like 80 or $90. And after seeing it, I understand why, because the thing has all kinds of mechanical stuff to it. It's good size. It's pretty decent sized head for Galactus, even though his head would be like the size of our moon, if not bigger. Yeah, probably a lot because he eats planets, so I'm sure his head wouldn't be the same size as the planet. Uh, all the other assisting characters and stuff, Guy Gardner, which isn't a spoiler because most people seen him in the previews, and then the other characters that we get in there were well done. A little on the goofy side, but actually played out very well overall. Uh, I don't know anything about the mechanic, but then from what I heard and stuff, it sounds like the mechanic's a Wildstorm, Jim Lee character. So that's interesting. I don't know if there's going to be other characters from Wildstorm stuff brought into the whole DCU environment. I'm not a big fan of Wildstorm. I tried to read them. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get into them. Thought the characters looked interesting on the covers and stuff. That's why I got a bunch of them and I had to check it out. And once I did, I just wasn't pulling me in. I may have to try it again if we're going to see a lot more of those characters on the screen. But we'll see. I'd say she was my least interesting character, and especially right off in the early parts of the movie when she does something with crypto. It's like, all right, don't like her anymore. Lex Luthor, we had the teasers of LexCorp in the previews, and everybody pretty much predicted all that stuff. Uh, and then the character that Lex was working with was not who a lot of people were predicting from the previews. Interesting, though. Definitely a interesting way they focused these characters and stuff, made them, and they had their goofier moments, and their stronger moments, but they all worked out well. But yeah, two thumbs up from me. I was very happy to see it. Brought me back to my 70s childhood and getting more of the original Superman feel, getting away from that the dark Superman, the gritty movies that Batman and Superman had to start getting into. Which I get it. A lot of people like that grittier stuff, especially if you're dealing with the Joker. But I myself uh, prefer the Christopher Reeve style Superman and that type of era of movies, movie layouts, just going for a good action packed story with a little bit of the oddball background stuff, little love affair and all that stuff. Jimmy Olsen, I never liked Jimmy. Uh, so this character, I didn't care much for his prediction of Jimmy, but yet it kind of fits decent. And then Jimmy's future love, future forced on affair type gal. She's a bucket of mystery. I can just imagine what they're gonna do with her. They're gonna keep bringing her back and do something with the Jimmy Olsen character. But but yeah, I'd like to see it again. I'm ready to see it again. I watched some highlights that basically took you all the way through the whole movie, which I was very surprised that people were able to put that much footage up on the YouTube. Considering if you put an 8-second clip on YouTube, they'll shut your channel down or something like that. I've been listening to people having problems with getting in trouble for running clips over 8 seconds or actually less than 8 seconds. And you still got the same things with musical music and videos you got to be careful with. And then also you got to watch what kind of material you show, which that again surprises me. People worrying about showing half a breast or something like that and getting shut down because of it. But then I was like last night watching. I'm not going to mention any names, but a famous creator was doing some art last night, and a couple other creators. And I was sitting there hanging out, doing some sketching with them, in and just watching the show. And they had certain body parts covered up, but then when they showed their sketches and stuff as they were working on them, then the black lines weren't there to cover up. I'm sure it's you might be able to get away with the boob chat as long as there's no nipple included. That might be some of the rules. I don't know what all the rules are. I just try to follow everything to my liking and hope that I don't do anything that's going to get me in trouble, get my channel shut down. But I don't control that. YouTube. So I try not to put out anything that's problematic. But yeah, Superman was fun. Uh, I don't think I'll go see Fantastic Four. I've seen the longest preview I've seen of it was at the theater when I went to see Superman. I can't stand the way Ben Grimm sounds. I don't care for the old school look. I get it. They're going back to the beginning like they do with everything. It's like I'm so sick of seeing origin stories. I mean, that's what I liked about Superman. I was like, oh, we're gonna go back through the whole origin again and watch the baby come down and do everything. It's like, no, they did it. They gave you your little gist. You got Ma and Pa Kent kind of describing a few things, and just it was done well. I liked the way that was done, but this whole Fantastic Four looks like the complete story I've seen over and over. Just they just haven't done it right or done it well in the past enough to make people happy. But it's like, come on, do we really got to keep going back to the beginning with these characters? Let's jump ahead. And if you do jump ahead and some 10-year-old or 20-year-old is complaining because they wanted an origin story, well, ask them if they've ever read a comic in their life. I mean, every comic gives you an origin story. So go back and read the damn comic. I want to see movies that show us stuff that you don't know about as much or you don't hear about as much. Stuff that's lightly done in the comics but was big events and those type of things I'd like to see in the future of movies instead of DCU having problems, not putting out good movies for a while, and then all of a sudden they start over again. MCU, they're going downhill, so now are they going to start all over again? It's we need to get beyond the beginning of all these histories of characters, and it's just without going from the original characters to all the new characters that have been brought out in the past few years and stuff. They're almost taking over more than the older characters, the originators. All their children, which basically all have their same powers and all that stuff. It's like, really? I don't know. And every character's got to have every type of character, and it's just we're flooding our material, our entertainment. We're flooding it out and just repeating ourselves over and over and over with things. So, in my opinion, let's quit remaking and start expanding on from what we already made, seen, or whatever. Let's expand on. If something's a complete piece of shit, yeah, redo it. But been done well in the past, let's play off the ones that were done well and let the story go further on. I want to get to the Superman and where you got a bunch of different super characters. I don't want to see it in the multiverse crap. I don't need to see 50 different types of Lois and Soups and Jimmy, and it's like, no, I need to just see the story go on. uh, but yeah, I have high hopes for Supergirl. I'm not a fan. Not I don't watch CW Supergirl or anything like that. I don't read the Supergirl comics. I have a few, mainly because of crypto covers. But other than that, I haven't followed her, so I don't know enough about her to be able to judge what's up. But just what I'm hearing, the basically the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow basis. That storyline is what we're going to be getting for the Supergirl style movie. All the stuff with the Red Suns and all that. And I like the concept that uh, the hammer and the anvil that's there but where Crypto sleeps, that there's a rumor that that was used to that hammer was used to smash stars into little stars to feed the star eaters that I guess Superman has, like a star eating pet on not Krypton, in the Fortress of Solitude, but it would be on Krypton, I think. But Krypton's not there. But I don't know. I've heard about the World Eater, the Sun Eater, I mean, and there's also rumor that maybe because of the Supergirl movie that Crypto was being fit. The reason the hammer and anvil's there is Superman was uh, using it to make mini sun chunks, pieces, little mini suns that he could feed to Crypto, and that might have something that leads us into the Supergirl movie, I guess. Like I said, I don't know enough. I'm just going off what I heard and my own predictions and stuff. But yeah, Crypto they did a good job with. So I was confused because I always thought Supergirl was I can't even think of his name, the cat, the super cat, uh, Itchy Scratchy. I always thought he was Supergirl's pet. But apparently, it must be Crypto, or it's both of them. God dang it, sneaky, sleeky. No, it starts with an S. Uh, yeah, it'll pop up as soon as I shut the video off or during other stuff. But yeah, that's enough talk about that. That was a good chunk of the video. As far as other things I'm watching, I tried to watch Masters of the Universe on Amazon with Dolph Lundgren, and I couldn't even make it 10 minutes into it this time. I used to be all right watching it, so yeah. And it gets better once they go to the New York or wherever present day. That's a little bit better. The movie gets a little better then, but yeah, the beginning part I couldn't tough it out long enough to make it through. So shut that down. Uh Thought there was something else on Amazon I checked out, but maybe not. Hulu, I'm almost done with the first season of Hit Monkey. Excellent show. I don't know why I didn't watch it way earlier. I just didn't know enough about the character. And now after watching the show, I want to go back and get into some of those comics, learn more about them. But yeah, basically a monkey hitman going through all the stuff he went through with his family and the main hitman that ends up getting taken out, and then they're connected, him and the monkey, and yeah, it was very well done for the first season. I'm looking forward to. I think I only got one episode and a half left, and then go. There's a second season with 10 episodes also, uh, I don't know if that's it for it, if they're going to have more. I hope there's more that's coming because it's definitely one of my more enjoyable animated shows that I've seen in a long time. Speaking of animated shows on Hulu, also, it's a movie. It's Predator Killer of Killers. I thought that was decently done. Watching Predator take a couple different characters, showing their abilities, and then having the crossover with them and the Predator character. And we also get to see, as we usually do, something that's connected with massive hunting grounds and all that stuff. But we do see that there's a lot of different characters and creatures and aliens and humans and all that that are basically cryogenically frozen there in the predator's storage area, storage facility or whatever. Uh, so it gives the movie potential to go on and on and on, which is never hard with anything predator alienish. I mean, you just gotta put them in a new environment, and there you go. You got a new movie or a new series. But yeah, I enjoyed that. So, Predator, Killer of Killers. Check that out on Hulu if you want. I think it's only like an hour and 40 minutes or so. Uh, Other than that, it's just been home shows and shit like that when the wife's around. Very boring. My eyes are going to shit. Used to be able to use reader glasses for my reading and drawing and stuff, and now here to the computer is getting harder to read. So that sucks. Pisses me off because I can't. I had 20/20, but I had great vision most of my life, but then when it started to get fuzzy and stuff because the MS and these stupid white things that are all the way around my eyeballs and gets blurs, seems to keep getting a little bit worse. But the glasses they gave me, first ones were trifocals, which I could not get my MS brain to work with looking through the top of the glasses when for distance, the middle of the glasses for the medium shit, bottom of the glasses for reading up close. Got them to a bifocal. Still got problems because if I'm trying to draw or something like that, I'm like got my head like this so I can look down through the bottom of the damn glasses. And then I gotta drop my head down to look ahead if I'm looking at something. And it's just too much moving and focusing. Get them to work right. I'd rather have just one prescription that works in all levels, but you're not going to have that if you need bifocals or trifocals. So I didn't go to the eye doctor this year. I just figure they're just going to do the same shit and try and talk me into buying another set of lenses, stuff that I won't use because they're going to have the split thing on them, and I just have no interest in doing that. I'd rather tough it out with my reading glasses, and but it's affecting my sketching the most. I haven't done no drawing, just basically sketching, and just yeah, getting harder and harder to focus on things when everything ends up in a fuzzy manner. So we'll see what the future has to offer with that. Xbox, I took a deep dive on the Doom Dark Descent. It's a fun game. I'm basically playing through it under the uh, run and gun style. Just fly through the levels, kill everything I have to as quick as I can, and just get through the levels. And then I can always come back in the future and replay it, take my time, and collect all the weird stuff. But since I got Game Pass for just a few months, I figured I'd do more run and gun, run through style gameplay, just so I can decide whether or not I like something that I want to buy in the future. Trying to think. The heck? Hmm. The Cat in the City game that I mentioned, I finally checked that out. That one's interesting. And if you like cats, I mean, going around knocking shit over, playing, walking through someone's paint, knocking the paint over, and then screwing up their designs and all that. Dealing with birds and critters that you have to chase after and stuff. It's a fun game that style, but not really anything I'm in the mood for at the moment. A little half hour nighttime veg on it is good enough for me. Half hour. Uh, Indiana Jones, I got a little bit deeper on that game. And it's definitely worth it if you're an indie fan. Lots of stuff to try and collect and do, little side missions and stuff. But I'm looking forward to Outer Worlds 2. I'm not sure. It's got to come out pretty soon because it was just on the last Xbox uh, big event. And I think it's coming day one to Game Pass. So I want to check that out, even though I didn't care for the first Outer Worlds. This one looked better. And then, yeah, I I downloaded some game last night or the night before. I can't remember what it is. I haven't played it yet. That's why I can't remember it. But it's the next one I decided I'd check out. I need a good. I mean, Dead Island 2 is okay, but I want a fun. I want a Resident Evil style game again. The early Resident Evils, not the newer shit that they've been putting out and stuff. I don't care. I don't want a Texas Chainsaw Massacre style storyline for my Resident Evil. I don't want to go living out and deal with the old people in the house and the freaky people and all that stuff. I would rather do the cops discovering the zombie type thing and dealing with the zombie environment. Just let's go to different states, countries, whatever, and just get different point of views of what's going on. And they tried, but it ended up getting too goofy with all the characters and all the things happening when they did the one Resident Evil that went over to Japan, I think it was. But then the little out whatever ones, those were I mean, 4, 5, and 6 were okay. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that style gameplay come back. Uh, we got some remaking going on with a lot of those versions, which I'll definitely play the remakes. I've already the Resident Evil 1 and 2 I have. I could actually go for playing Resident Evil 1 again. I really want Resident Evil 3 director's cut. That was probably one of my favorites. Uh, but yeah, I don't know, there's not too much else really happening around here. Just working on going through crates, getting comics for the comic sales that we do on Mondays. Check out Psychotronic Squirt Gun, his YouTube channel. Me, Aaron, and Dan have been sharing the spotlight, taking turns uh, selling comics the past few weeks on there. You can always look at old episodes and contact us about items to see if we still have them. I offer free shipping as long as you buy at least 10 books. If you buy like 6 books and you want them shipped, then you just have to add $4 shipping, $1 for every book you're short of. Uh, I got some fun stuff for the next week's one. I got some Star Wars magazines that I'm going to be offering also. Boba Fett, Darth Vader, some Star Wars Indiana Jones magazines and stuff. So those should be fun. Hey, we just wish we'd have all the people that used to come to the auctions. We got to get them back. A lot of them, I know a lot of people had life take over, but hopefully we'll get a lot of them back soon. Other than that, I'm selling what I can on there. Great deals, free shipping, $2 and $3 comics I've been mainly focusing on, but now I'm gonna have a little variety in there. With these magazines will probably be like $5. I had some other things that might be a couple slabs I might decide to sell this week and stuff. So there will be some higher priced items, but nothing major. Uh, and yeah, I'd like to either hop on some oddball shows that show things off. I kind of miss the one cover display show that Aaron was doing back in the day, a while back, and that was a lot of fun. I'd like to see that come back or just get on one of the other ones that they do now. I got plenty of stuff to show off. You can only make so many videos. If you want to put out one video a day, I could just fill every day. But I'm starting to get videos piling up in the reserves. So I want to get those out before I ended up. I know I'm already screwing up and probably posted something before something else. And I'll be talking about something that's not posted yet. Stuff like that. But we'll get it figured out. Uh, yeah, there's not really much else I had to talk about. Mechanic didn't come get my truck on Monday or Wednesday like they said they were going to do. I mean, granted, we had tornadoes yesterday afternoon, so I get it. If they were planning on doing it then, but they didn't even call me then, so I don't think they were planning on it. Drove past their shop today and they had a vehicle hanging halfway out one of their shop doors, and they had a vehicle in 2 other bays in their shops, so I'm sure they're over busy right now, which is fine. As long as I got one vehicle to get around, that's all that matters. Uh, and the wife can walk to work now. And although today I might have to pick her up, might have rain this afternoon again, like yesterday. Yeah, just Thought there'd be more to talk about, but apparently not. So I'm gonna end it here instead of dragging it on out. Keep following under the Cowl of MS, rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. Comment, I'll comment back. Check out Cryptic Cowl Comic Club. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.